All right, week 10 is in the books, but I must say, for the first time in a long time, especially this season, I was actually able to sit down, relax, eat some popcorn, eat some wings, and eat some french fries and stuff like that, and not have to worry about my Dallas Cowboys losing because they couldn't. CeeDee Lamb couldn't drop no passes. Dak Prescott couldn't throw no interception. Javonte Williams couldn't fumble. George Pickens ain't out there throwing his helmet. You know why? Because they was actually on the bye. So a defense could not put up 40 points on the Dallas Cowboys because they weren't on the field. They had a bye week. So shout out to my nice, peaceful week 10 bye of the Dallas Cowboys being on the bye week. And I was actually pretty excited because I know some of y'all team lost last week, and that made me kind of happy that y'all team lost and my team didn't lose because they didn't even play. But anyway, moving on to week 11, we got a full slate of games starting out with a Thursday night football matchup between the Jets and the New England Patriots. Back in the day, that this matchup was actually pretty intense. It was actually pretty entertaining to watch back when Tom Brady was beating up on the Jets. I don't think Tom Brady lost to the Patriots at all his entire career. I can't even remember the last time the Jets even beat the Patriots. But here we are today, fast forward into the 2025 New England Patriots and the Jets. The Patriots, for me, have been pretty good this year, right? I didn't see them coming out having the record that they currently got right now. They are actually a pretty well-coached football team. Richblkman might be an MVP candidate behind Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott's #1 in the MVP conversation no matter what the Cowboys' record is. But the Jets are terrible. The Jets sold off Sauce Gardner. They gave us Quentin Williams. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate you. And we gave you guys Mozzie Smith. Oh, my God. We fleeced the New Jersey Jets. But anyways, the Patriots and the Jets, I'm going to actually roll with the Patriots on this. The Jets are tanking. They're trying to get the #1 pick. So they really have no interest in trying to win this game tonight. So I got the Patriots by like 20 or 30 points. Easy. Thursday night footballs are pretty boring most of the time. But I think this one might be a little bit exciting because it's the Jets and the Patriots are actually on the road and actually playing pretty good. They are coached very well and they doing their thing. So here we are again with another Sunday morning football game, a 9:30 football game. So that means that we actually get to watch football all day long, starting when we first wake up. You got the Commanders and the Dolphins. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels is probably out for the rest of the season. I think they got Marcus Mariota. I'm not sure if Debo's going to be playing. I think Scary Terry is still out as well. The Dolphins are still we don't even know what the Dolphins are. I mean, I asked my favorite Dolphin fan, Michael, to give me a prediction, and I think he probably said the Commanders are going to win this game as well because the Dolphins are actually pretty trash. But I think Miami actually pulls this game out and win by accident. I don't think Miami's actually trying to win either. I think they're trying to tank just like the Jets are. But somebody got to win, and I'm actually going to roll with the Miami Dolphins to beat the Commanders because the Commanders are just bad, okay? They got injuries all over the field, and I don't think that they're going to actually show up and play this game. So next up after that, we actually have the Bengals and the Steelers. I like the Steelers and I like the Bengals. The Bengals still are, I don't think Joe Burrow is back, right? No, I think he's done for a little bit. And the Steelers still got Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers are very inconsistent on a Sunday basis every single week. Like you never know what Steelers team you're actually going to get. So I'm actually going to still roll with the Steelers to win this because they actually coach a little bit better. I think Zach Thomas or Zach Taylor for the Bengals is actually fighting for his job. But I think he comes up a little bit short against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. And I think the Steelers are actually going to win this game. Then we got the Texans and the Titans, the battle of two bad teams. CJ Stroud got hurt last week, so I don't think he's actually going to be playing this week. But they are playing the Tennessee Titans, and I really do think the Texans can defeat the Titans because the Titans are becoming the Titans, and they are wasting my main man Cam Ward's best years in the Titan uniform. So hopefully I want him to have a great game, but I just don't see that they're going to be able to overcome the Tennessee Titans minus CJ Stroud because I think the backup, which is David Mills, is actually still pretty decent. I think he might be a little bit better than CJ Stroud, but a lot of people may call that a little bit of hate, but I don't think so. But I'm going to go with the Texans on this one, on this game right here. Next up, we got the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears are playing pretty well. All of a sudden, the Vikings are taking a seat back. But I can't go. I can't pick the Bears. I'm sorry. After what they did to my Cowboys, I just can't pick the Bears. I think the Bears come back down to planet Earth, and the Vikings actually take them out. That's a division game, which normally division games are pretty tough to play. But I'm actually going to roll with the Vikings over the Bears. I think they get back on track, and the Bears actually drop one. I don't think the Bears really been playing anybody on their schedule as of late, so that's probably was a result of them actually winning. Next up, we got the Panthers and the Falcons. Now, as long as the Panthers are playing a top tier team, an elite team, they will win. But now they're playing the Falcons. The Falcons are a little bit below their competition, and the Panthers have been playing pretty well until last week when they got blown out. But I think the Panthers will defeat the Falcons on this because no one really knows what the Falcons are going to bring every single week. They started out the season pretty hot. They had Bijan, they had Michael, they had Drake London, and the Falcons are supposed to compete with the Bucks for the division, but they're doing everything but that. So I'm gonna roll with the Panthers to actually beat the Falcons. This time we got the Packers and the Giants. The Packers let me down last week by actually not beating the Eagles. But this time they got the Giants, and they're going to be going against Famous Jameis. My main man, Famous Jameis is back, started in the NFL. And while I like what Jameis brings to the table for the Giants, I think he's not going to be enough to actually take down the Packers. I think the Packers win that game fairly easy, even though it is in New Jersey. Famous Jameis is probably going to throw like maybe 2 or 3 picks to the Packers. I mean, the Packers defense is real, minus Michael Parsons. Even though he's getting paid $47 million and only can generate 1 tackle every single game, that is kind of disappointing. But I do think the Packers actually step up and defeat the Giants, who are pretty much injury ridden. Okay, they got Scatterboo out, Jackson Dart is out, Famous Jameis is starting, so everything is lined up for the Packers to actually win this game. And if you notice, I actually been picking the Packers the last couple of weeks with my little Jedi mind trick that I got going on, and they actually been losing. But I'm going to stick with the Packers to win this game over the Giants. Then you got the Jaguars and the Chargers. The Jaguars just actually suffered Travis Hunter being injured. He's done for the year. I think the Jaguars kind of started out kind of hot, but then they kind of like fell down a little bit. The Chargers have been pretty much on a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I do think they will defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville this upcoming week. So Chargers over the Jaguars. Game of the week we actually got is the Buccaneers and the Bills up in Buffalo. While I would like to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are playing up in the cold. And if you know what I know, for the teams do not play well up in the cold. We don't care if it's in Philly, Green Bay, California. If it is cold, for the teams don't play well up in the snow. They don't play well in temperatures below 70 degrees. And I think the Buffalo Bills will get back on track after falling to the Panthers last week, which was actually kind of embarrassing. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills only because of the location of the game. If it was down in Tampa, I would go with Tampa, but I think Tampa Bay loses to the Bills this week because of the location, and it's the Buffalo Bills. And I think Buffalo is very tough to win against at home, okay? And then you got the San Francisco and the Arizona Cardinals. Normally, these two teams battle it out. It's a division game, but San Francisco is going to have too much for the Cardinals, who is actually still rocking with Jacoby Brissett, which is kind of crazy. But no Kyler Murray this week. I think he went on the IR, but I think Jacoby Brissett returns back to Jacoby Brissett, and he actually loses this game against the 49ers, even though it is an away game for the 49ers. They're just too tough. They got CMC. Matt Jones is actually playing pretty well as again. So I'm going to roll with the 49ers to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. Then you got the Seahawks versus the Rams. The battle of the two best teams in the NFC, really, outside the Dallas Cowboys, even though the Cowboys' record don't reflect that. The Seahawks and the Rams are at the top of the conference in the NFC. They're playing good football. The Rams are playing good football. Sam Darnold is actually playing good football for the Seattle Seahawks as well. So this is kind of like a toss-up game, and I'm going to get an edge to the Rams because they're going to be playing at home, and they got Matthew Stafford, they got Puka Nacua, and they got Kyron Williams, and they playing at home. So I'm going to actually get an edge to the Rams. I think Seattle might make a few mistakes that might actually cost them the game. Sam Darnold might actually throw an interception, which I can actually see. So I'm going to roll with the Rams to defeat the Seattle Seahawks at home. Next up, you got Kansas City and the Broncos. The Broncos are just like getting lucky. They got an easy schedule. They ain't been playing nobody as of late. Kansas City is still trying to find their footing. They are kind of struggling at times, but I think they get their mojo back and actually defeat the Broncos in a close game. Normally, the Broncos and the Chiefs are really, really good games, good defensive games. But I think Kansas City is going to be able to pull out a few more plays and execute down the line and defeat the Broncos, even though they are playing in Denver. The Ravens and the Browns, no need to spend too much time on this. The Browns are a disaster. Until they do right by Shedeur Sanders, the Browns will never prosper, okay? Never, 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 never. So I got the Ravens over the Browns easily in Cleveland, that game is going to be a no-brainer unless it's like some crazy type weather that's going to be happening in Cleveland. But I got the Ravens over the Browns. Start Shador. Okay, please, Browns, start Shador. Okay, if you want Shador Sanders to be starting, put it in the comments. Okay, start Shador. Okay, and then the Sunday Night Football, we got another good banger for a Sunday Night Football. You got Detroit and Philly. I'm rolling with the Lions on this. I think the Lions are looking for some revenge against the Eagles. After what's been happening to them as of late, I think the Lions are a better team than the freaking Eagles. But I could be just capping. I could be a little bit biased because I would never, ever sit up here and pick the Eagles to win anything, okay? So let's go, Detroit. Don't let me down. Please, Detroit. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Please beat the Eagles. If the referees actually start calling false starts on those tush pushes, the Eagles may never win another game, okay? So NFL, please get your referees in line and please call that tush push false start that they're doing on every single fourth down, okay? Please. And last but not least, we got America's team again on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Okay. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. The Raiders got Brock Bowers. There ain't nobody on the Cowboys defense that's going to stop Brock Bowers. We need to put like 3 people on Brock Bowers and just hope that nobody else gets open and hope that Geno Smith continues to make bad reads every single week. We cannot let Geno Smith look like Russell Wilson did in week 2 when we faced the Giants. Okay. The Cowboys must come out and be aggressive. We got some new pieces on defense, Quentin Williams, and we also got somebody else as well. We made a huge splash in the trade deadline. We got Lance coming in at linebacker. We got Overshawn back. We got another defensive back that's actually back as well. So the Cowboys are getting healthy. The boys are getting healthy. And we playing on Monday Night Football, okay? Nothing better than Monday Night Football and the Dallas Cowboys. So that is exactly what Americans need. I'm actually going to roll with the Cowboys to win this game, even though they are playing on the road in Vegas, okay? The Cowboys going to win. I think the Raiders are actually favored by 3.5, but that ain't nothing but Vegas talking to you, baby, okay? Trust Rich. The Cowboys will win that game against the Vegas Raiders and go on and be 4-5-1 heading into Philadelphia next week, and that is a huge game coming up in week 12. But I got the Cowboys over the Raiders on the Monday Night Football. We're going to have a nice Victory Tuesday podcast coming up. But those are my week 11 picks, man. Make sure you drop a comment in the chat what games I got right, what games I got wrong, what matchups you like, what teams you like, and I will see you guys in week 12.